saved, got saved, and hell, maybe their life did change, but their heart wasn't truly changed. Only God knows that. But to say that you're not saved because your life didn't change and your life didn't become more like Christ, it's true, but it's not necessarily true. Only God knows the heart. I know that all these years of backsliding, penitentiary 4 times, selling drugs, being addicted to drugs, through all that, I was still saved if I would have died right then and there. And I say that because I believe in my heart that when I made that commitment back when I was 15 in a juvenile prison in a cell by myself, that I knew that I meant that prayer. I just couldn't overcome the devil and the demons that were in my life. And the thing about that is we're not left by ourselves to fight these demons, to fight the devil, to fight the world, to fight the demonic world that goes on around us. But I knew in my heart that I meant it. I just didn't seek God's help to overcome the worldly life that I was living because, quite honestly, I wasn't ready to give it up. So all I've done is put myself through hell on earth because my life didn't get better after I made that commitment. It got worse because I got worse. But that's nobody's fault but my own. It's not God's. It's mine. So back to faith without works. So basically that means, if your life hasn't changed, then maybe your faith isn't as real as you think it is. And then on the other side of that, it says works without faith is dead. And what that means is the most outwardly Christian person you may know. It could be a pastor, somebody that goes to church, your grandma, whoever. But what basically that's saying is that just because your life looks like Christ doesn't mean that your faith is real. Your faith is accurate. It could just be you behaving that way because you want to. In the addiction world, they talk about one drug's too many and 1,000's not enough. That being an alcoholic or a drug addict, you can never use again. You can never drink a beer again because it's ultimately going to lead to full-blown addiction. And I'm proof that's definitely not true. The Bible says in Genesis that God had to change our language because when the people were just one and there were no other cultures, no other, I don't want to say races, but no other languages because everyone was one way. And nobody was white and black back then, by the way. They were Jews. So this whole dispute about God being white or black or